What's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopping. I got options. I can roll this through. Let's talk to you.
I want to do a somersault really bad, but I feel as if my achy breaky back won't go well. Ladies and gentlemen, she-theys and gays, I have a lot to say. Currently my asshole is cramping up. What a fun feeling. Currently have the period shits, but this time it's a little bit different. The literal muscles that make up my asshole are it's painful. Aren't you so glad to have me back? Ow. We have a lot to talk about. I'm having an existential crisis. Well, I normally am. I mean, it's like a normal, that's just a typical day in my life. But first, I do want to address the elephant in the room. Yeah, I did make an investment into an art piece. I'm not one to collect art. I'm usually the one who makes the art. But I did invest in this quality piece that's now part of my room. If you can't read it, it does say "Live, Laugh, Love, Mr. Worldwide." And he protects me while I sleep. I was having sleeping problems until this arrived in the mail. I have slept so soundly, and my dreams have been kind of fireball, okay? I don't want to say it, but I do kind of want to, is he God? Whoa. Is he my protector? I mean, these times that we live in are just so unprecedented. I mean, what can you expect? I just need to chat. I'm in a chatty mood, okay? And I've got nobody to chat with because my one friend apparently goes to bed at 7 p.m., which I learned recently, so we're gonna chat. Hope that's okay. Also, sorry I've been gone. Actually, I'm not sorry I've been gone because you know what? While I love you so much, I also don't really owe you anything, and you don't owe me anything. We don't owe each other anything. Let's address the existential crisis, okay? Over the last 2 years or so, I have spent way too much time alone and just thinking. I have thought enough thoughts to the point where I'm like, I think I'm done thinking. I think I have thunk enough thoughts. I think we're good. I think we can call it a day. And I have had to sit alone with my thoughts way more than the legal limit, okay? It is not okay. Anyways, I have kind of come to this conclusion after all of the thinking that I'm done, that we are all just kind of faking it in life and none of us really know what we're doing, and that I should really just stop taking most things seriously. But recently, and when I say recently, I mean maybe the last 48 hours, I have looked at some of the elders in my life, some of the people of higher power in my life, okay? Teachers, my boss, just adults, people who run coffee shop, just anybody who in a social situation is quote unquote higher than me, okay? And I am like, guys, I think we're all just kind of the same. Why can't we just all act the same around each other despite our positions? Okay, how do I explain this? I think I've explained this before. I think there is a difference between being professional and being respectful, but at the same time I'm like, why can't we just be casual all the time? Why is there this need to be robotic? You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes I'm surrounded by robots, but they're not robots. Guys, when we all strip down to our socks, we've all got 2 nipples and an ass cheeks, okay? We are all humans. We are all the same. We all just got different brains, okay? I am the same as you. You are the same as me. We are on the same level in terms of the world and the Milky Way. Let me give an example. So when I go to a coffee shop and I have an interaction with the person taking my order, it is so professional. And I even find myself when I'm at work, because I work at a coffee shop, I am a different person when I take orders. I think that's a pretty natural thing. We've got our customer service voice. But I was sitting in this coffee shop and I was listening to this girl who took my order, and she was talking to the other people who she worked with, and it was super, super casual, super fun, super whatever, super normal. And then she went to take my order and it was like, "Hi, how can I help you?" And I was like, wait, but what's the difference between you talking to her and you talking to me? And not that it was a her problem. I just started thinking about in the world. Why do we all have to be so robotic all the time? And everything that we write and say, and we are literally all faking it. at the end of the day, we are all faking it. Even things that, like, you know for a fact came from somebody who was faking it till they made it. You know what I mean? It's all about confidence, baby. Let's talk about confidence. Let's talk about confidence. I would consider myself a pretty confident person. I think in high school, I was pretty confident as you could be as a high schooler, which is like not 100%, but you know what I mean? I have gone through the last couple of years being so lonely and being so alone that now I feel like I am way more confident in how I present myself, purely because I know that if they don't like me, if they don't like the real 100% version of Jasmine, that I can survive on my own. Does that make sense? It's like I would be okay if I wouldn't be okay because I'm not okay, but it is possible for me to survive with nobody as my friend because I've done it and I'm here. You know what I mean? Do you ever see that quote on Pinterest? It's like, your fear of looking stupid is holding you back. Like, yeah, like it's actually, like, let's think about this, okay? So many times where I have gone out and, you know, strutted around town in a cute ass outfit, okay? And I think to myself, oh my God, people are gonna be staring at me. Oh my God, I'm gonna stand out from the crowd. Now, if I was in New York, I would be below the crowd. I wouldn't look that great, all right? But I live in Central Oregon, okay? Every single person here looks like they just climbed Mount Everest and they're best friends with Alex Hanold, okay? Everybody here is an REI Super Plus Gold member. So when I strut out in my little city fit, I stand out a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I mean? Not like crazy, but like, it's like, wow, she put herself together today. I've gotten to a point where now when I strut around town in these outfits, okay, and I look damn good, I know that if people are having thoughts about what I am wearing, whether they be negative or positive, they're just jealous of my confidence. You know what I mean? It's all about confidence. I feel like in the last couple years, I have been able to accomplish so many things purely because I just faked some great confidence. It truly does wonders for you. I start to believe it, and I feel fucking powerful, okay? That shit makes you powerful. If I am doing something that I have not seen someone else do before, whether that be a way that I dress, a piece of art that I create, a way that I do my hair, a way that I sing something, say, like literally just anything. If I've not seen somebody do that before, it's a little scary to feel like you're the first person to do it. And the truth is, you're probably not. But my mentality recently has been like, well, somebody's got to be the first person. Somebody's got to do it. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to be the one to take the reins. Everything came from somebody doing something for the first time. Why not you? Why not me? Why not be that bitch that does it for the first time? You know, I just cracked my toes. I'm really sorry about that. Do you know what I mean? You can be that person. You can be that person who does it for the first time. I feel like I judge myself purely based on what I have seen other people do, and that's like the basis. But I'm like, Jasmine, well, somebody's got to be the first one to do it differently. And also, who said the way that they do it is necessarily the right way to do it? We're all just like building off of each other in terms of the way that we do things in life. But why not just like cross the street and go build something over there? You know what I mean? Like, nobody realized that there's this whole other property across the street that you could do all this shit on. Does this make sense at all? Now that, like, half the people have clicked out because they're like, oh, who the fuck is this bitch? What the fuck is she talking about? Is she high? What is going on? To answer your question, no, I'm not high. Marijuana scares me. And I actually smelled the essence of marijuana last night, and I got a little scared. Not gonna lie. Oh my God, let's talk about my night last night. I haven't done a lot of social things recently, right? But last night, I get a call from a friend, and they're like, do you want to go to this jazz concert? And I said, does jazmataz want to go to a jazz concert? Yeah. What do you think I'm gonna say? Fucking no. So I went to this, it was like a jazz funk concert. And y'all, this shit changed my motherfucking life. We all know that I like to listen to big band covers of pop songs, right? And it's a little bit cringe and it's a little bit questionable, right? We're worried about her. But this got me so good. I literally stood there with like my jaw dropped to the floor the entire 2 hours we were there. I was just like, this is so amazing. Like, just the energy, and this guy on the synth, he was just like, I immediately was like, I want to go home and like buy an electric violin and like join their band without their consent. I was like, this is oh my God. I was blown away. And I don't even know where we were. I live in a very small town. We were in some random theater in the back of this like shopping center. I have no idea where we were. I didn't know any of the people that were there, but all I know is that everyone around me was dancing their damn heart out. Okay? And I don't mean like, I mean like full on, like just letting it loose. Just letting it ride. It wasn't until later I realized that I think most of the people there were either drunk or very high, but still, I was like, this is it. This is it. And then this is when we actually started going into this existential crisis, because my friend who I was with was like, why aren't you dancing? Right? Because I am Jasmine, okay? I am a dancer. I am a mover. I am a groover, okay? You get some beats on, and I'm just gonna the moves and the grooves, they flow naturally through my spinal cord, okay? It is a natural process for me. But then he hit me with the, why aren't you dancing? I thought you would be dancing. And then I thought to myself, whoa, why am I not dancing? And part of me felt a little bit scared. A little bit scared to dance. And that is just not like me. In the slightest. I mean, I have customers who come into the cafe and I will perform a full-on dance routine to them as I make their coffee order. Okay, like we are not. So I was like, why am I not dancing? And I realized I had a power thought. I had a That's So Raven moment. Back to some trauma. Okay, back to some trauma. Back in high school and a little bit into college, where when I was my full authentic self, people genuinely questioned if I was drunk or if I was high or if I was on something, which was never the case. I have never had alcohol except for one sip of wine once. It was disgusting. I convinced myself that I was nauseous and hungover immediately after. It was not very fun, and I'm not looking forward to my 21st birthday. I have never seen real weed in person. Didn't know a lot about drugs until I started watching Euphoria, okay? But I always had a really hard time with that. One, because I just didn't like people assuming that this wasn't the real me, that like being crazy and goofy and silly, like that was only possible if you were intoxicated. It would almost be kind of embarrassing because then sometimes like people wouldn't believe me. And this only happened on very few occasions, but obviously they really stuck to me when this happened. And so when I was at this concert last night and I realized that most people were probably high or probably drunk and they were dancing their heart out, I think I didn't want to like dance along because I was reminded of those times where people assumed that I was drunk or that I was high, and I like just didn't want to like do that again. But I don't know why, because it wouldn't be a bad thing if I was drunk and it wouldn't be a bad thing if I was high. I mean, obviously given it depends. Let's just leave it at that. But still, you know what I mean. I think what really bothers me is this idea that we can only like let loose. People think that they can only let loose under the influence. And that's probably not the case, and I may be just imagining things, and who knows? I think it bothers me because I feel like that's something society has done to us. That you can only be like crazy wild, like just break out into dance unless you're like drunk. And I'm like, guys, why can't we do that like all the time? I don't know. It was just so not me to just like not want to literally just, I don't know, hit the Dougie, bust out a couple pirouettes, hit the splits, do the nay-nay, and call it a day. Anyways, not quite sure why I shared that. Not quite sure why I share a lot of things. I just kind of want to I'm just feeling feelings, and as my therapist says, feelings are meant to be felt. Otherwise, we wouldn't have feelings. Okay, here's another thing that's really got me riled up recently. Or if you don't want to get riled up, then like, just hold on to your socks, okay? In the last couple months, I have really gotten into weightlifting. Whoa. I'm gonna let you process that one for a sec. Kinda wild. Yeah, but I have been recently pumping iron. Shit has me feeling powerful. Okay, I feel like I can conquer the world. As many people, everybody goes on their own, journey when it comes to their relationship with movement and fitness and exercise and whatever that means for you. And I feel like quarantine and all that shit really messed up a lot of people's relationship with quote-unquote exercise, which if you know me, you know that I like to call it movement, because that's what it really is. In the last 6 months or so, I have really healed my relationship with movement and making sure that if I am moving my body, it is purely to move my body and not to make my body look a certain way, associate it with eating, whatever it might be, okay? And I have found that weightlifting has been really powerful in that sense because I'm able to see what my body can do. Because for a long time, working out has been really hard for me physically, and I am somebody who just thrives off of movement. I feel like I am somebody who needs more movement than the average person. Well, we all need movement, but I feel like mentally, I need a lot of movement in my life. I'm having a really hard time with going to the gym and looking on Pinterest, because when I first started, I had no idea what I was doing, right? So I had to look up videos and TikToks and whatever it might be about weightlifting, and I have such a hard time with how many videos are geared towards one exercise is going to make you look like this. Obviously, I don't have a lot of control over that. Obviously, that is just something society has made us feel, whatever. But I think I've just noticed it so much more, and I've realized there's really no inspiration for just how your body can feel when you do these things. And that sounds so cheesy, and I sound like a fucking blogger, but do you know what I mean? And I had this really eye-opening experience the other day where I was at the gym and there were a couple other girls there, and they were all really looking in the mirror, really looking at their bodies. You could tell they were working out for their appearance, okay? I might not be 100% correct. I don't know their full story. But then I started questioning myself, and I found myself looking in the mirror and being like, oh, do I look, they're looking at this part of their body, should I be looking at this part of my body? And I started for maybe a week or two, I found myself kind of slipping back into that, maybe I should be working out for my body's appearance. Maybe that's just what I need to be doing. But then I was able to do a toe touch, which if you don't know what a toe touch is, it's like a cheerleading or dance move where essentially you jump straight up in the air, you do the splits to the side, your legs come back down. If you Googled it, you'd be like, oh yeah, I know what that is. But in dance, I was never able to do a toe touch, and make it good. I could get my legs up there, but I always landed on the floor. It was never cute. And there were times where they had to move me in formations because Jasmine couldn't do the toe touch, whatever. And that was always really discouraging to me. But then I'm standing there in this dance room and I did a full-blown, good toe touch. And it was just I haven't felt that sort of joy and sense of accomplishment and pride in myself in such a long time. All the thoughts that I had been having about my body and working out just were completely flushed down the toilet. Jasmine, look at what you can do. Look at what your body can do now. You have been working on your body's muscles and abilities, and now look at what you can do. Shit is happening on the inside. And now some people can just naturally do it, okay? But this was something that I had never been able to do and I could never sort of conquer. I was just thrilled. I was just oh my gosh, Jasmine, you did that. Look at what look at what my body is capable of doing. I almost started crying because I feel for so many years now, my body just hasn't been capable of what I feel it could be. I've had a lot of sort of medical setbacks, if you will, the last couple years. A lot of different things. And I grew up somebody who is very athletic, constantly I did volleyball, gymnastics, tumbling, trampoline, competitive diving, like you name it, I did it. And I was a beast. And then all this medical stuff started happening and all that went away, and I lost a lot of my confidence. And I just realized that being strong is something that really makes me feel like me, makes me feel like Jasmine. And that might not be what makes you feel like you, but it is something that I feel like is like a part of my character, is like feeling strong. And then it sounds so silly, but like I did a toe touch and I was like, oh my God. If you have read Untamed by Glennon Doyle, if you have not read Untamed by Glennon Doyle, I am not a reader, but this book single-handedly changed my life. This book single-handedly changed my life. But if you've read it, you know the moment where she's like, there she is. She sees Abby Wambach and she's there. I did this toe touch and I looked in the mirror and I was like, there she is. Like, there I am. There I am. I think my message is just that, like, I needed that moment to, like, fully, maybe not fully, but to really boost my journey in terms of my mentality. And if you can find a moment where you can feel this sort of like, whoa, like, look at what my body can do. I just did that. I am capable of that. And maybe that means that, like, maybe you can run a mile. Maybe you figure out that you can do a pirouette. Maybe you figure out that you can kick a soccer ball really high. I don't care what it is, whatever you like to do for movement. Like, accomplishing a goal is just like that shit's really cool. Like, it's really cool. Anyways, just thought I would share. I don't know if anybody who's listening maybe has had similar experiences with like toxic thoughts about movement and exercise and all that, but yeah, I just hope that we can all experience something like that. And it could be really big or it could be really small. Maybe it's as small as, whoa, I can balance on one foot for 30 seconds, and you're gonna be like, oh shit, didn't realize I could do that. How long have I been talking for? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the purpose of this video is. I never know what the purpose of this video is, but we are long overdue for a chat about my YouTube channel. We should chat about this because I want to chat about it. I won't go into the details, but I think I'm done posting regularly. I think that needs to stop for indefinitely, until that is something that will bring me joy. But I think the pressure that I put on myself was really hard. I found I just ended up getting in ruts creatively, and I wasn't very happy. So, and I've always told you and myself that if there is ever a time where YouTube is not bringing me joy, then I would stop. And come like November, YouTube making videos was not something that I was looking forward to. And it was purely because the process of trying to come up with an idea was really frustrating. I didn't want to even have to come up with an idea. There have been so many times where ideas have just naturally come to me, and those are the videos that I end up really liking. And I didn't like the idea of having to sit down and figure out, like, I gotta plan content. Like, that is not, like, y'all know me. Like, that is not the way I want to live my life. So yeah, YouTube was bringing me more stress than it was joy. So I said, all right, we're just going to stop until I'm ready to pick up the camera again. And tonight I just felt like I wanted to chat. So tonight we're just chatting. But I do think that I owe it to myself to not upload unless I have something that I want to say. Like, maybe I need to, like, making these sorts of videos where I sit down and talk, these are very, like, healing for me. They might not be the most entertaining, but I feel like maybe for some of you who know me or have been following me for quite some time now, maybe these are healing for you too, or just having somebody to listen to, or just have a friend to have on in the background. So either picking up the camera when I feel like that needs to happen, or when I have a great idea and something that I say, oh my God, I want to start working on this right now. So yeah, I think that's all I'm really going to say about that. I mean, there's a lot more I could go into about that and about my thoughts on YouTube and what it means to, like, make videos on the internet, but I don't know. Nobody wants to listen to that. My parents say they don't mind listening to it, but I know that they do. So, shout out Jody and Brian. I think I do have work tomorrow. It's 11:45. I do think I'm gonna go to bed, but I appreciate you listening to all of my thoughts and experiences that I've had recently. I also do want to note that I did thrift an entire electric piano for $20 the other week. So I guess just kind of maybe mentally prepare yourself for what that might entail. I'm trying to prepare myself for what that might entail. I'm not quite sure. Do I want to know? No, I'm kind of scared. I'm scared of what may come out of this brain onto the piano and out of my mouth. I'm worried. You should be worried as well. If you have concerns, just email me. Questions or concerns are always welcome. Anyways, I'm gonna go hit the motherfucking hay. In the words of Jason Derulo, I was so wrong for so long, only trying to be myself. Penis.